Hello, Coolman229 here with another Topic of the Week video. This week I'll be talking about Hopper and Elle from Stranger Things. This week's topic was submitted by Tumblr user mephhius, and her topic is your overall thoughts on Jim Hopper and Eleven's father-daughter relationship in the second season of Stranger Things. Was it well written, and what are your thoughts on the idea that Hopper is too unstable to be a good parent to Elle? Yeah, I've heard a lot of those criticisms, and some of it's just outright hate on Hopper, that Hopper is a terrible person, he's abusive, he treats Elle like garbage, and he doesn't deserve to be a father. A lot of it's kind of ridiculous. Now, I've said this before, but I love parental relationships, especially father-daughter relationships in fiction, and especially adoptive father-daughter relationships. You know, two people coming together and being a family, or more people being a family. I mean, I love that. I love that so much. And Elle and Hopper are very much like that in Season 2. And it was basically what we all wanted after Season 1 when we saw Hopper put the Eggos in that box. And it's exactly what we got in Season 2, is that Hopper ended up, taking care of Elle and, protecting her during the year between Season 1 and Season 2. Now, I understand, I don't understand why people would think this, but I understand where they're coming from, is that Hopper and Elle do have conflicts. They make mistakes. Yes, Hopper can be a bit too controlling when it comes to protecting Elle. He doesn't want her to go out. He doesn't want her to do stuff. And she wants to go and do stuff because she's growing as a teenager. She's she's a child, but she's growing, and she wants to do stuff. She wants to see Mike. She wants to see her friends. She wants to be part of the party. She wants to go out and do stuff and live a life, and Hopper's keeping her cooped up in the cabin. And the best part about this is one of the reasons why I think this is so well written, is that you can see where both of them are coming from. Elle wants that freedom, and you understand that. We've gotten so attached to her that we want to see her be happy. We want to see her be with Mike. We want to see her, live a life. But, we also know where Hopper is coming from. Hopper wants to protect Elle. Hopper wants to take care of her, and he doesn't want her to be hurt. And there are dangers outside that, just because, what's his name? I always keep forgetting, Brenner, was killed. And, sure, the lab is better, but it doesn't mean that there's no dangers. And Hopper wants to protect her. And also we have to remember, Hopper did have a daughter. She died. So Elle is like his new daughter. Elle is his new daughter. And he's trying to take care of her. Can you really blame him for being a bit overprotective? And even then, it's not like he doesn't relent on anything. He does try to compromise with her. And he's trying to learn it. He's learning this relationship just like she is. Because he spent a good amount of time being a complete mess. I mean, I went back and rewatched Season 1, and Hopper was a mess. Hopper was a big, fat mess. I mean, he's introduced as a slob, smoking, drinking, popping pills, sleeping around. He was absolutely awful until he started kind of getting into the plot and actually started focusing on what was going on and investigating things with the Upside Down and the disappearance of Will. And you see, even by the end of the season, but especially in Season 2, Hopper has changed significantly. We see him going with Joyce and Will to the lab. We see him helping Joyce. We see him helping Will. Especially we see him there with them near the end of the season at the labs. It says we see him helping them, and we see him doing these good things to help out. He's become a much better person. And yes, he's gone out of his way to take care of Elle. He didn't have to do that. But he wants to, and he's trying to help her. And I've seen people treat it as if he has no care for Elle at all. Elle is nothing more than an afterthought to him, and no. I mean, you don't spend a year taking care of someone like that, trying to teach her, trying to raise her. I mean, things like not eating dessert before dinner. He's trying to, teach her about, living a life and just having any kind of remote sense of normalcy, because Elle is not normal. She was raised in a lab by a nut job who's using her for her psychic powers. She's messed up, and she has to adjust just the way Hopper has to adjust. And yeah, there are issues with this. And one of the best things about Stranger Things is that they let good characters make mistakes and do things that you may not like at times. I mean, nothing too horrible, but They make reasonable mistakes. And the show's not afraid to let them do that. Because I've seen other shows where they're like terrified of the idea that someone might dislike a character that's not meant to be hated. So they don't let them do anything bad at all. And it ends up coming across as extremely stale because they're not acting reasonably. But Hopper and Elle do mess up. And their development over the season, and they do develop. Yes, there are problems. There are problems throughout the season of their relationship. I mean, we see Hopper, who was trying to work out the whole Halloween thing with Elle. You know, he didn't want her to go out. She wanted to go trick-or-treating, and he was trying to figure out a way to, compromise on it. But he got distracted by the investigation of the things with all the mysterious crops disappearing or being rotted and all the BS from the Upside Down coming in, that he got distracted for a good while and forgot until it was far too late. And then he had to tell her that he was late. But he didn't. It's not like he didn't care. He tried. Especially he was trying to buy off candy so that he could bring it for Elle. He went out of his way to do that because he cared, but he makes mistakes. And it really annoys me how people will hold up characters to ridiculous standards. Like, we can all accept that Steve became a much better person from how he started off in season 1, and he's become Team Dad for the party, basically. So I don't understand why people somehow seem to have a difficulty accepting that Hopper's developed. I mean, he's a different character, but I mean, he does a lot of different things, and sure, he started off worse than, almost worse than Steve in a lot of ways. But when you see him develop and you see him become a better person, I don't understand why I've seen so many people in the Stranger Things fandom completely ignore all that and focus on the fights that he had with Elle, the few fights that he actually had with her arguing in, season 2. But it's like, in completely ignoring all the things he did for Elle. Like, did people ignore the whole, the ending part where he was there with her, fighting by her while she was closing the gate? I mean, or the fact that he, with the help of the doctor, got her to be, legally his daughter, and he can actually take care of her. She has a name legally now. He did a lot of stuff to help her, and I mean, shoot, and it's not even like no one treats him, or like no one tries to call him out for this. Just remember what Mike's reaction was when he found out that Hopper had Elle the whole time. Yeah, he wasn't happy about it, because sure, that seems very unfair to a lot of the characters, and it may seem unfair to the audience because we want everyone to be happy, we want everyone to, everything to work out all fine, but they don't always do that. But everything did end up working out fine. Elle got to go to the snowball. She got to dance with Mike. I mean, Hopper let her go. I mean, he didn't completely control her in every situation. But so many people seem to ignore that and focus on other, the lesser parts early on in the season of when they had conflicts. But ignoring when they make up for those conflicts later. I mean, a lot of this comes across as a bit of the, a childish perspective. And I don't want to call the people who are doing this childish, but it's that same kind of perspective that a kid would have. Like, say, a kid who wants to eat Lunchables, but already ate a Lunchables earlier, and they had to wait till tomorrow. And their mom says, no, you can't eat this, you have to wait till tomorrow. And they get mad, and they throw a tantrum because they don't get to eat it. And so, sure, as a kid, you're like, I want to eat it, but your mom's not letting you, so it seems unfair. But when you grow up, it's like, oh yeah, I was being unreasonable because, I had to wait till tomorrow to eat another Lunchables. I mean, it seems like a ridiculous situation, but it's like, no, yeah. As a kid, it seems unfair, but when you grow up, it seems reasonable. And says, and they seem to be having that sort of childish perspective of Hopper didn't do everything that Elle wanted, so he's a terrible person, and even abusive. Like, really? We're calling him abusive. I mean, granted, there's a lot of... this isn't just in Stranger Things, this happened a lot, but it just seems so ridiculous to try to hold these characters to insane standards while not holding other characters to this. Like, I mean, are we not going to be holding, the times when Steve was trying to keep the party from doing, going out after things? I mean, are we going to be holding the horrible things he did to to Jonathan and Nancy, back in season 1? The way he acted? No, he developed, and Hopper developed too. We see him being a better person, especially in season 2. He's trying his darndest, and he's trying to grow, and it's good writing. We see them develop. We see them start off sort of rocky, and as the season goes on, they develop into having a better relationship. And we see Hopper treat her, better. He does work with her. He does compromise, and things do settle down, and he does let her go out and do things. So this trying to portray him as a horrible, awful person like I have seen in the fandom, or that he's too unstable. It's like, well, yeah, maybe if he took her in at the beginning of season 1, then yeah, he would definitely be in the wrong place to be a father again. But he developed in season 1, and now in season 2, he's continuing to develop. So I really don't see the issue, and I don't see why so many people seem to hate this. I mean, granted, no, don't get me wrong. A lot of people in the fandom still love Hopper and Elle. They love their father-daughter relationship. But there are, and I think it's probably more of a minority of people who are just being really loud, but there are always going to be people like that, so it doesn't really, bother me so much because, well, the show is well written. And a lot of people do understand the development that Hopper and Elle go through, so it just seems totally ridiculous to me that people would try to make Hopper look worse than he is for really no reason. Well, I think that about sums it up on this topic. So, yes. If you want to submit a topic, just make sure to follow the rules I'll be posting down below, and either comment below if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Tumblr, send me an ask and do topic : and then whatever topic you want me to talk about. If you want to watch last week's topic video, you can check that out here. If you want to watch next week's topic video, you can check that out here when I get that done. And thank you for watching.